Thank y'all for tuning in to Primitive Organic Garden today. Just wanted to do a quick video update. I'm having friends over tonight and we're going to be eating steak about 7 o'clock. We're going to be cooking steak on the charcoal smoker. Probably using some oak wood and some charcoal. Just wanted to show y'all a good way to marinate steak. So we went out to the garden and we picked a bunch of fresh herbs from the garden. We got all the winter herbs. We got dill, parsley, fresh green garlic. We have 2 different types of mint. We have apple mint, spearmint. We also have oregano. So we got all these fresh herbs from the garden. That's going to be the foundation of the marinade for the steak. Then we're going to take a little bit of apple cider vinegar. Just a little bit of apple cider vinegar for the marinade, not too much. Then we're going to add a little bit of honey mustard. So I like to make my own honey mustard. You can use fresh honey. If you don't have any honey, you could also use maple syrup instead of honey. And then use whatever mustard you want. You can use, a Dijon mustard or a spicy brown mustard or a yellow mustard. I'm going to be using whole mustard with the seeds in it because I just think it's cool and it gives it a good texture. So you can see this mustard actually has the seeds in it. So we're going to put some of the mustard in here. And like I said, we're going to use either a little bit of honey or a little bit of maple syrup. It's up to you which one you use. You could also use sorghum syrup or cane syrup, or really doesn't matter. Put some hot sauce in there, some hot peppers. We have some cayenne peppers that have been sitting in vinegar for about 6 months. So I might put a little bit of the cayenne vinegar juice in there just to give it some serious flavor and kick. You don't want to overdo it. It's going to be really hot. And now that we got all those basic ingredients together, we're going to add a little bit of oil. You could use avocado oil, coconut oil, olive oil, really whatever you want. I like avocado oil because it's a good high temperature oil and it's cheap and it doesn't impart a whole lot of flavor. We also need to make sure that we add a fairly abundant amount of salt. I like to use pink Himalayan salt. You don't need to add any pepper because we got all the hot cayenne juice in there, but we do need to add liberal portions of salt. So to review, we have a honey mustard base with a little bit of apple cider vinegar, all the fresh herbs from the garden, dill, oregano, parsley, apple mint, spearmint, fresh green garlic. You could also use chives. Mix all this together here, and then we're gonna kind of let the steak soak in this marinade for about 5 hours. It doesn't look like we have enough marinade for the amount of steak that we have. We have 6 steaks, so I think I'm gonna have to add a little bit of water and a little bit more vinegar and a little bit more mustard and a little bit more cayenne juice and a little bit more honey, just so we can get this up to par. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in today. Like I said, the steaks will sit in this marinade for about 5 hours and that'll be perfect. I wish I had a pan that was like a little bit wider and flatter. thank y'all for tuning in today. Just a review. We got all the fresh herbs out of the garden: oregano, Greek oregano, Mexican oregano, parsley, chives, green garlic, dill, apple mint, spearmint, peppermint. We got all the fresh herbs from the garden, mustard, and then put some whole mustard seed in here, and we use some honey and some maple syrup if you don't have honey, and salt. And we're just going to let this marinate for about 5 hours, and then it's going to go on the grill, and we're going to cook it and serve it rare. And we're going to serve it with a bunch of radishes from the garden, and probably some cooked collard greens, and maybe some roasted sunchokes in the oven. So pretty much everything in the meal, with the sole exception of the meat, will come from the garden. I've been trying to do more of a hunter-gatherer ketogenic type diet where, I eliminate processed carbs, and basically my dinners consist of large portions of fresh meat or fish, and then everything else for the dinner comes out of the garden, whether it be radishes or turnips or kale salads or spinach or carrots or sweet potatoes, or everything comes out of the garden. And I just pair a big piece of meat or fish with stuff from the garden, and that seems to do pretty good with my digestive system, and kind of helps keep everything working well. And if you want to stay fit, just start a big garden and start hunting and fishing. If you spend a lot of time hunting and fishing and gardening and eating the things that you hunt and fish and farm, you're going to be in good shape and you're going to be in good health. So anyway, I'm going to let this marinade sit for about 5 hours, and I'm going to put it on the charcoal smoker on low and serve it rare. Cheers, y'all.